welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing well. Today is a very different type of video because I am going to be vlogging slash doing a Q&A on all things hurricanes here in St. John's, Florida. I hope a lot of people relocate here from the Northeast, the Midwest, and California, and the most common question I get asked is, what are hurricanes like here? How much are you impacted? And so on and so forth. So I figured today would be a great day to answer those questions because today we are actually going to be impacted by the Hurricane Helene that's currently out in the Gulf. It's supposed to hit here this evening. It's morning right now. So I figured I would kind of take you along for the day to show you what the typical hurricane tropical storm threat that we get here in Jacksonville and in St. John's, Florida. We don't get a lot of direct hits, but we still are affected by the outer bands of the hurricane. So I just want to, for one, show you what it's like, answer some common questions, and just take you along for the day. All right, so right now I'm going to make some breakfast and we're just going to kind of chat about everything I've heard about Hurricane Helene. So it's currently out in the Gulf, and right now it is a category 2. Let's see, it's 10:20 in the morning, and it's expected to be a category 3. I've seen some reports that say it could get to a 4, but I doubt it because once a hurricane hits landfall, it really starts to break up and dissipate. So it's supposed to kind of hit the panhandle of Florida, more like Sarasota, Tallahassee on the west coast of Florida. So we're a little bit protected. We're not in like a evacuation zone or anything like that, but we are really supposed to feel the impacts apparently around starting 7 or 8 o'clock tonight and through the night. So we'll see. So if you really want to get a sense of how bad a hurricane is going to be, they obviously categorize them 1 through 5, but what's really important is the city that's going to make landfall, and then also the path and where the eye of the hurricane is going to be. Obviously, the closer to the center and the eye, the higher the winds, the more rain, more tornadoes you could get in them, things like that. And speaking of landfalls, Jacksonville rarely, and knock on wood, is actually the city where a hurricane makes landfall. I think the last time was like in the 1960s where it actually directly hit us. So we typically, whenever there is a hurricane, we do get outer bands and things like that. So it's not to say that one day we won't have another hurricane make landfall on us again, but it is very rare as it is 2024 now, and we haven't had a direct hit in 60 years. I know on the news it seems very scary, and for the cities where it does make landfall, it is very scary. They aren't to be taken lightly, but I also want to be kind of that voice of reason that it is not exactly what you see on the news and on TV. So I'm going to finish making breakfast here. I think I need to go take Maddie boy for a walk, and I'll kind of show you what it looks like outside at 10:30 the morning of the hurricane coming, and just kind of what it looks like out there. And then he has a grooming appointment today, so he's going to look super handsome later on. So I'll catch up with y'all in a little bit.
Alrighty, so I just dropped Mav off to get groomed, and now I'm gonna head to get some gas because I'm down to 21 miles, which I never get that low, but of course the day hurricane is coming is the lowest I've pretty much ever let my gas get to. Anyways, that kind of leads me into talking about what to do to prepare for a hurricane, whether it's going to be a more mild hurricane or a more severe hurricane. These are just some things in general to do to prepare for. So one of them is to gas up your cars. A lot of people have gas portable generators, and people will go fill up tanks of gas just in case like gas runs out, things like that. A lot of people will get some gas containers from even Publix and fill them up just to have as backup. So always put gas in your car in case you ever have to like leave in an emergency. You're fully gassed up. Another thing to do is to get canned goods and food that does not have to be refrigerated. Lots of bottled water or gallons of water. You also want to have flashlights and batteries just in case the power goes out, and you want to have like one in each area of your house so you don't have to like go all the way upstairs for your one flashlight. In fact, the last hurricane we had, I was home alone for, and it was coming and hitting at night like it is again tonight. And Austin was gone, so I was home by myself, and we each have flashlights in our nightstands. And the power did go out while I was watching TV in bed with Mav, and I get scared so easily, guys. It's not even funny. You would think I'm a 10-year-old, but I hate being home alone at night, and then especially a hurricane is hitting. And so I go to turn on the flashlight and the batteries are dead. And so then I go to Austin's nightstand, his batteries are dead. So then I went all the way to our laundry room to get this lantern that I hadn't set up yet, like it's in a box, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I was like, okay, you know what? I can just go to sleep. I don't need light. I'll be fine. And I really was fine. I was just being a baby. But needless to say, it's important to make sure that your flashlights are working before the hurricane hits and any power goes out. So definitely recommend that. And I will be doing that later on. But first I'm going to go get some gas, fill that up. And then I don't really need any canned goods or anything like that. We have enough food to last us. If like the power went out, I couldn't imagine it would go out more than a day, if at all. So I don't need to really get anything in that department, but I'm going to gas up and get some batteries.
Alrighty, so now I'm just getting some work done for real estate, and I want to kind of talk about how hurricanes can affect real estate and real estate transactions. So when a hurricane is coming, different companies can do a suspension on binding homeowners insurance. That's mainly the way it affects real estate is through homeowners insurance. So if you are supposed to close on a home during this time frame where the binding is suspended and you're using that particular company, which most companies will do a statewide suspension. It's not like only if you're in Jacksonville or depending on the path. If it's going to come anywhere close to Florida, then a company would do a statewide suspension, but you would just not be able to close during that time frame. So if you were supposed to close then, you would have to then push your closing a couple of days until you're out of that time period and that suspension is lifted. So not a huge deal, but just something to note if you are planning to move here and purchase a home in Florida during hurricane season. That always is a possibility and just something to be aware of. Oh my goodness, look how cute he looks. They really shaved off his ears because I guess they got super matted. So he looks like a baby. Are you my baby? Let's go home. Good boy, take it.
Alrighty, so it is 5:59 right now, and it just started raining like 10 minutes ago, but we just got an alert on our phones saying that there is a tornado warning in our area, which I guess warnings mean they actually have spotted a tornado that has touched down. So I personally am way more scared of tornadoes than I am of the hurricane itself. So we will definitely be safe and just stay away from windows. We're gonna make dinner here shortly once Austin is done working, but I will keep y'all updated.
Alrighty, Austin is finally off of work.
Yep, and my company let us stay home from work today because there's a hurricane coming, so they just wanted everyone off the roads.
Alrighty, so now we're gonna start making some dinner. We're gonna have steak, sweet potato, and asparagus because we have not been healthy lately, and we're going to start doing that now.
Also, one thing that we do with dinner is we get steak and chicken from Costco, kind of like this.
Yeah, boy.
And then we grill it up all in one big batch, and it lasts us like a month or two. So what you're seeing is Ella get some steak out of that Ziploc bag.
and it's already cooked, and all we have to do is heat it up, and we'll have steak in about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we were able to take Maddie out to go to the bathroom, and it wasn't too bad out there. It was just really windy, and the gusts kind of scared him a little bit. But
You scared
see you,
him
buddy. But anyways, we are just going to watch our show, which we're watching The Perfect Couple right now, and just kind of chill out and go to bed. We'll put our flashlights by our bed and the lantern, and honestly, we should be good. So I'll catch up with you guys in the morning and just show you the aftermath and let you know how it went. Good night.
Peace.
Good morning. It is the next morning, and I pretty much slept through the entire hurricane. Austin said he woke up a couple of times because the wind was howling, and I was talking with my mom this morning, and she said that her chairs on her porch, which are really big chairs, blew down the street into a couple of houses down the street. So there was definitely high winds, but one of my greatest talents is sleeping, so I didn't hear a thing. But I do think it was a little bit worse than we thought it would be. Luckily, our neighborhood doesn't have too much damage, neither does our home, so we're grateful for that. And of course, my heart goes out to anyone who was affected by this hurricane, and my thoughts and prayers are with those that were affected. But we are pretty much all good here now. It is going to be sunny out. Businesses are back open. A lot of businesses closed yesterday or had people work from home, just like Austin, and then the schools closed. Pretty much all the schools here in Florida have hurricane days, which are kind of set aside. We assume to have a couple days that need to be taken off for hurricanes, and it doesn't affect the school year. So St. Johns County closed just for yesterday, and I believe they're reopening today. And then I think Duval and Clay County, which are two surrounding counties, had closed for Friday as well, because a lot of the schools end up being shelters for any homeless people out there or just people who need shelter. But I think everything is going to resume as normal today. We are going into the weekend and we'll hopefully get some sunshine. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what it's like here in St. John's and in Jacksonville, because we do rarely get direct hits from hurricanes, so we are lucky from that standpoint. And just to help answer the questions, when I get a lot of people who are looking to move here, and this is the most common question I get, hopefully this video will give you an insight as to what the typical hurricane threat is like here in Jacksonville. So as always, thank you so much for watching my videos. It means more than you know to me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.